goes the way of Schambari. He is also 8 years the older. 5'11" versus 6'1". The height goes to Andrew Craig. The weight goes to Schambari. 3-inch reach advantage to Andrew Craig. Our experts fight gauge. Let's see how they stack up. Striking even. Ground game even. Speed even. Strength goes the way of Schambari, and so too does endurance. Another great matchup by our promoter, Mick Maynard. Let's go up to Colin Cantrell to get us underway.
Tonight's co-main event is scheduled for 3 rounds of 5 minutes each in the Legacy Middleweight Division and is being brought to us by Houston Auto Auction, personalizing the dealer auction experience through excellence and superior customer service. Introducing first on my right, fighting out of the Houston Auto Auction blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighs 186 pounds. A grappler with a record of 15 victories versus 3 defeats. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Eric Schambari. And across the cage on my left, fighting out of the MO2go.com red corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weight 183.5 pounds. A freestyle fighter protecting his perfect record of 5 wins and no defeats. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, Andrew Craig. Your referee to give final instruction, Danny De Alejandro.
Fighters will ready to see instructions in the dressing room. Do you have any questions here? No. Obey my commands and come on times. Come out fighting at the bell. Touch them up.
We are ready for 3 rounds of action. It is Schambari who comes in the favourite, minus 145. Andrew Craig at plus 115. It is actually a return to Texas for Schambari. He fought his first 5 bouts in Plano, Fort Worth, and elsewhere around the state. Went undefeated here in Texas in his very early mixed martial arts career. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg with you. Schambari pressing Craig up against the cage early on.
This is what I said in the opener. So the one thing that's going to happen is Schambari is going to shoot, but Craig is not scared to stop the takedown. He's got a good long range. He knows how to use his body length to really help him out to get rid of these takedowns.
Craig, who started BJJ at 19 years old, holds a purple belt. Went to school at the University of Texas in Austin for 4 years. He's a big Longhorns fan all the way. Side control now from Schambari. That experience prevailing at the moment.
Other than that, Craig's a nice guy, other than being a Longhorns fan. There's 200 people around the world boo.
So we actually have 2 BJJ purple belts in the cage here. Side control still from Schambari, working solidly in the first round. Schambari, the man without a nickname, will have to try and think of one for him. Says he's never had one before.
Believe me, I've been trying to get rid of triple toes for 15 years. I'd rather not have one either.
Schambari, who is Italian by descent, Sicilian to be precise. North-south position now.
A lot of work. Schambari's just spent a lot of energy trying to hold Craig down on the ground and not doing much damage to him. No elbows, no punching. Really, Craig is just, right now it's his jiu-jitsu match. He's very patient, he's very calm. This is actually benefiting Craig at this point.
Ooh, knee to the knee here from Schambari. Knew he couldn't go to the head of Craig in this position, so he slams away to the outside of the left knee. Clever work here from Eric Schambari. As I said, Schambari has never lost 2 fights in a row in his entire career. Craig gets that hand loose. Back onto his feet now is Andrew Craig, and the crowd responds. Craig, a double middleweight champion, the reigning legacy middleweight champion, though the title not on the line here tonight, also holds the IXFA middleweight championship. Very keen golfer too. And Schambari back to top position on the ground, now takes the back of Craig. That was nicely done from the veteran.
Yeah, Schambari did a great job. A lot of strength, a lot of power. He's a very, very strong guy. Very, very powerful. He gets any kind of piece of your body, he can lift you up in the air, and he showed it just there. Now he's got the back, but he's having a hard time setting in. Craig's got better than average, better than purple belt defense from the back here. He's not allowing this at all. See how he has his right hand tied up across the left hand. He's got cross body. He's able to see his hips out. Craig's in no danger here at all.
Schambari working well. Is that a cut over the eye there of Andrew Craig?
You can't tell. His hair's so long. You can't tell if it's a cut or if it's
hair or something else. Unless he's got a bit of hair dye just trickling down there, Frank. Who knows these days what they're wearing? I mean, people like you have nail polish on their toes.
Yeah, but that's manly. You know, having hair dye, that's kind of feminine.
Well, I can't talk. I've got no hair. Oh, body triangle here by Schambari. Well, not in the places you're thinking. Let's not go there, Frank.
Back here is pleasurable to some women.
Schambari looking to sink a submission here on Andrew Craig with 1 minute 39 remaining in the first. It has been a ferocious opening round for Schambari.
It's tight now because look at Craig, he's starting to panic a little bit. He used those punches to get himself out of it. That wasn't a rear naked choke, that was a smothering choke. He basically had his entire arm over his face and his mouth. He had nowhere to go.
Schambari continues to ride the back. Says he is dedicating this fight to his mother. She's a single mum who's raised 3 boys. His older brother just retired from the Army, 10th Mountain Division. His younger brother, the president of a Catholic school in Washington. So Mrs. Schambari done well. Back to the center of the cage. High kick from Craig. Trying to reproduce what Larry Crow did earlier tonight. Handstand Schambari. He's on rubber legs. Schambari on the canvas. Here comes Craig. Can he find the finish? This place is alive. And Schambari ties him up. Controls the posture. Gets a moment to readjust himself. Schambari was on rubber legs there, Frank.
He almost fell face first twice. And in the middle of that, almost had enough wherewithal just to drop to his knees and try to reach for a leg. He was stunned bad. That's probably one of the worst knockouts we've seen in a long time. I don't know if Schambari has enough time to recover. The only thing that's going to save him now is the belt.
15 seconds for Schambari to survive. The marbles are still rolling around in his head here for Schambari. Digging into the rib cage with the right fist here is Andrew Craig. Almost over this round. And Schambari walks slowly towards his corner. He got pounded on in that final minute.
Tough position by Schambari. He's easily winning that fight, easily winning the round. But all of a sudden now, getting beat up at the end of it. You see him come in here, and he's got his hands down. He steps back a little bit. Craig puts a nice quick jab out there to check his range, and then throws that right hand the moment that Schambari dips. Hits him right behind the ear. A perfect position, steps in nice and tight. Look how low that left hand is, and Schambari has no place to go but on his face. Somehow he stays up. I don't know how he does it. Stays up, tries to shoot in quick, and ends up having a sick guard. And look at the devastation that is going on here with these ribs. Craig just jamming in as hard as he can before the bell rings, and that's going to take a lot of power out. To be honest with you, Michael, I'm not sure Schambari has enough time to recuperate between his rounds.
Andrew Craig takes the first round 10-9. Complete domination in the last minute of that opening round. We've got a fight on our hands.
That's good, that's good.
It is Legacy Fighting Championships number 8 live on HDNet. Hope you're enjoying all the action, folks, wherever you're watching. And Craig charges out of his corner. Undefeated 5-0, the talk of the town here in Houston, Andrew Craig. And seemingly for good reason. Wow, that uppercut went so high I heard organs playing. Schambari's hands very low here.
You can see how thick his arms are now, how much thicker they were than the beginning of the first round. He's got a lot of blood pump now in his arms, so even when he throws a punch, he's not going to have much snap to it. It's going to be all power. Oh, his face first, he flattened out.
Sprawls out does Craig. Schambari momentarily in trouble, but they're back to their feet. The confidence is just oozing out of the pores here of Andrew Craig. Man who teaches kids BJJ, boxing and MMA at Team Took Gym. Look how he controls center cage here, Craig. Keeping Schambari on the outside. Schambari shoots in, but far too slow on that occasion.
Slow, no timing, and he's not even setting up the shot. He's just blindly shooting at him whenever he can, and Craig's in such a good position, there's no way these takedowns are going to work.
Oh, left hook from Schambari, just not enough mustard behind it. Outside thigh kick from Craig, nicely done above the left knee. Oh, a lot of starch on that one. Shin thumps against the thigh. Schambari just spilling of his own momentum now. A little bit of Sabaki footwork there from Andrew Craig, working his angles. Throws a high left round kick, followed by a probing jab. This is good work from Craig. I don't think Schambari is still fully recovered here, Frank.
No, that's what I said in the beginning. I don't think he had enough time to recover. Like, he was really bad. Honestly, that was probably the worst non-knockout I have seen in a long time. He somehow stayed on his feet, didn't get put out. Now he's got nothing left.
From Craig. Schambari caught the full-blown front of that one. Tied up against the cage now.
So Craig does a great job here. See, he's got a hold of his far arm. He's not allowing Schambari to get a hold of his knees, tying him up, using his length to his advantage. And really, Schambari's using a lot of energy to try to hold Craig Herden against the cage.
2 minutes 40 remaining here in the second round. Been a good one so far for Andrew Craig. Schambari picks him up, drives him to the canvas, passes nicely, goes to side control. Craig immediately scoots back against the cage.
Smart position, now use the cage to get himself back up to his feet to make it very difficult for Eric to hold him down.
Schambari is a man who has been to war, has survived very tough and rugged opponents. His fight against Matt Horowitz, remember, at Bellator 28, was one of his most impressive. A good example of how he can always adapt his game plan to any fighter he faces. Can he adapt here, though, to Andrew Craig? Jab from Schambari, fell short. Schambari on the back foot here. Craig setting the right hand, he fires it. There's a counter left hook from Schambari. High right hook. He caught him. Here comes Craig. And Schambari in trouble yet again.
Schambari's doing a great job of getting himself tied up and then slowing the pace down once he gets hurt. But he's getting hurt with the same stuff. He's dropping his hands. He's leaving those hands down around his waist, around his chest. He's leaving his head and face wide open.
Schambari
Find yourself, fighter.
taking these little looping punches to the schnoggin here from Andrew Craig off Craig's right hand. And let's go, Andrew, let's go, they chant here in Houston as we're in the final minute of the second round. Craig looking to go 6-0, the middleweight champion of Legacy FC. They will be loving this in Austin, where he went to University of Texas, graduated with a degree in corporate communications. Inside the guard, the close guard of Craig is Schambari with 25 seconds on the clock here. Craig telling us yesterday, when we asked him what do you think of the major strengths of Schambari, he said he's a very good top position grappler, but I'm prepared for him. Schambari trying to break free with that right hand now. Final 10 seconds. Craig momentarily through the left leg up. And this is how the round will end. 2 down and 1 remaining in our semi-main event, in which Schambari came in the favorite -145, but it's Andrew Craig, the underdog, in control.
He's really pushing the pace. He's got the better spot, and when he's in trouble, when he's on the ground, Craig is doing stuff that's not allowing any big punches or big damage to happen to his body. He's very smart. You step into your seat. Look how low this hand is. His left hand, Schambari's left hand is down, and he kicks him right in the side of the head because he's got no defense. Now, part of it's because he got almost knocked out in the first round. He still hasn't recovered. But the other part of it is because he's just not keeping his hands up. Here's a big lift. Nice lift by Schambari. Brings him down, slams down nice and hard, and then steps himself all the way through and tries to get the full pass. But he's just not doing anything. Look at Craig. Look, he's always tying the head up. He's already looking for the arms to tie up. He's not going to take any damage in that position. It's saving him up.
Right now. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Little blood on the nose of Eric Schambari. He is trailing 2018 on Frank's fight card after 2. How are you scoring it, folks, wherever you're watching on HDNet? Third and final round.